Everything your mother taught you about food. Everything your school taught you about eating right. Everything printed on those charts on the wall for the last 30 years is now being seriously questioned. In recent nutrition discussions, experts have proposed a very different version of the traditional food pyramid, and it is completely upside down from everything we were told before. The foods that were at the top of the old pyramid, the ones we were told to eat sparingly, are now at the bottom. And the foods that were at the bottom, the ones we built every single meal around, are now the ones being questioned. Protein, healthy fats, full-fat dairy, real whole foods. These are now much closer to the center of modern nutrition discussions. But here is the problem nobody is talking about. Most families right now are still feeding their children, themselves, and their elderly parents based on the OLD rules that just changed. Parents are asking, should I still give my child low-fat milk? Adults are asking, was I wrong to avoid red meat all these years? Seniors are asking, what does this mean for my diet now? Today, I am going to answer every single one of those questions. I will break down the new 2026 food pyramid in plain, simple language. What changed? What it means for every age in your family, and exactly what to put on your plate starting tonight. Stay until the end, because the change about full-fat dairy and children is the one that will surprise you the most. Before we talk about what changed, let us quickly remind ourselves what the old food pyramid said for the last 3 decades. At the very base, the largest section was grains, bread, rice, pasta, cereal. We were told to eat 6 to 11 servings per day. This was the foundation of the healthy diet for an entire generation. Above that were fruits and vegetables, then dairy and protein in moderate amounts, and at the very top were fats and oils, with the instruction to use them sparingly. That pyramid shaped school lunches for millions of children. It influenced what health professionals told their patients. It determined what manufacturers put on healthy eating labels. For 30 years, this was the truth. And now, many experts are starting to challenge that approach. Some newer nutrition recommendations move away from the old system with an inverted pyramid that puts protein, vegetables, full-fat dairy, and healthy fats at the very top, and moves whole grains to the smallest section at the bottom. This is not a small adjustment. This is a fundamental reversal of the nutritional advice an entire generation was raised on. And your family deserves to understand what it means in practical, real terms, starting today. Let me give you the 5 most important changes, quickly and clearly. Change number 1. Protein is now the priority. The new guidelines recommend 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight every single day. That is nearly double what many people were previously told. Eggs, poultry, seafood, red meat, lentils, beans, nuts. These are no longer side dishes. They are the main event. Change number 2. The conversation around fat is changing. For decades, we were told fat was the enemy, especially saturated fat. Some newer nutrition discussions are reevaluating older concerns around certain fats. Healthy fats, olive oil, avocado, full-fat dairy, nuts, are now explicitly encouraged as central to a healthy diet. Newer research has caused many nutrition experts to re-examine older dietary advice. Many experts now believe excessive sugar and ultra-processed food play a major role in modern health problems. Change number 3. Full-fat dairy is back. This is the one that surprises people the most. For 30 years, parents were told to give children low-fat or skimmed milk. Some newer recommendations are now challenging that advice. Full-fat milk, cheese, and yogurt are now placed at the top of the pyramid alongside protein. Some research suggests that dairy fat may help absorb fat-soluble vitamins and support healthy development in growing children. Change number 4. Added sugar is now under much greater scrutiny. The guidelines are explicit. The newer recommendations strongly encourage minimizing added sugar as much as possible. This reflects a much stronger focus on sugar than older dietary advice. Ultra-processed foods, sweetened drinks, flavored cereals, these are now considered major dietary concerns. Change number 5. Whole grains are still important but deprioritized. Whole grains have not been removed. They are still recommended. But they have been moved from the foundation of the diet to the smallest section at the base of the new pyramid. Quality protein and vegetables now come first. Grains come last. And refined grains like white bread and white rice are more clearly identified as foods to minimize. Now let us make this practical. Starting with children, because the changes to kids' nutrition are the most significant. The single biggest change for children is dairy. If you have been giving your child low-fat or skimmed milk, some newer research suggests full-fat dairy may offer certain benefits for growing children. Full-fat milk contains more calories for growing bodies, more fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and supports brain development more effectively during critical growth years. Full-fat yogurt and cheese are also now encouraged over low-fat versions for children. The second big change for children is protein at breakfast. Under the old pyramid, a bowl of cereal with low-fat milk was considered a complete healthy breakfast for a child. Under the new guidelines, that breakfast is heavily sugar-loaded with minimal protein. A proper breakfast for a child now looks like this: 2 eggs with vegetables, a glass of full-fat milk, and a piece of fruit, or Greek yogurt with nuts and berries, high protein, healthy fat, natural sugar, no added sugar, no refined grain. The third change for children is the elimination of added sugar. Flavored milk, sweetened cereals, fruit juice, flavored yogurt, all of these are now in the same category as junk food in the new guidelines. Foods high in added sugar are now being discouraged as regular daily choices for children. That is what the new science says. A simple rule for feeding children under the new pyramid: every meal must have a protein source, a vegetable or fruit, and a healthy fat. For adults, the message is simple. Stop building your meals around processed carbohydrates. Build them around real food instead. Protein first: eggs, chicken, fish, lentils, beans. Then vegetables. Then healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, or dairy. And grains, if included, in smaller amounts. For seniors, this shift may matter even more. As we age, muscle loss and weak bones become serious problems. That is why newer recommendations now place far more importance on protein, nutrient absorption, and healthy fats. But even now, not every expert fully agrees. Some researchers still debate red meat and full-fat dairy. But one thing is becoming harder and harder to deny. Ultra-processed food and added sugar are damaging modern health on a massive scale. So here's the simplest version of the new family plate. Half your meal, protein and vegetables. Smaller portions of grains, healthy fats in moderation, and as little added sugar and processed food as possible. Because maybe the biggest change is not one food, it is the mindset. Stop building your life around processed convenience food. Start building it around real food again. The food rules changed in 2026, and the families who understand that change and act on it may improve their long-term health and overall well-being than those who are still following 30-year-old advice. I want to know, which of these 5 changes surprised you the most? The full-fat dairy, the protein amount, the sugar message? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one. If this video helped you understand something your family needed to know, please share it with one parent, one grandparent, one friend. Because this information just changed, and not everyone knows it yet. Subscribe to this channel for honest, practical food and health content every week for kids, adults, and seniors. I will see you in the next video.